Hello everyone, thank you very much for waiting, and I'm sorry for being late again. Uh, so the plan for today is to rig and rig this character and make a couple of animations. Hopefully, I'm not going uh, to make a whole set of animations because there are still things I ain't sure about regarding his locomotion. Yeah, so but let me show you some progress from the previous stream. So I changed the proportions a little bit. He got another segment of the spine because he was too short like that. He got those chicken legs. And the cable thing and this backpack. uh, Basically, this one is made in for purpose of attaching the equipment slots to it, and I hope it probably would be possible to attach engines, which I thought would be impossible in the previous stream, but I guess it looks fine like that. And it has this kind of extension arm extension thing that allow to attach the weapon and move it a little bit to the side, because I think it just looks better than having it in the middle like that, which looks a little bit silly. So yeah, that's the adjustments I made since the previous stream. Small details here and there. Yeah, so let me read the chat real quick. Fox, should I make a Lego dino that you created, that 3D model of yours? Yeah, that would be very fun to see, to be honest. Once uh, I had a player and his dad a few years ago, I believe, and they sent me this kind of stop motion video. I really should look it up and post it on Discord. That was really fun. They made some robots similar to the in-game models from Lego, and they like shot per frame and moved them and made a small uh, stop motion animation with these robots. That was crazy fun. So yeah, any of the content that you anything that you would create that is related to the game would be very fun to see. That's not because of, you know, not because it like attracts attention of someone, or it's just a fun thing to fun thing to see. It really is heartwarming to when someone makes this stuff. So yeah, please do. Do, 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 do. Uh, uh, there is this conversation on Russian. The player asks to add the green bot from the game as a playable character. Так, по поводу гринбота, чтобы играть за него, я не помню уже, как он выглядит, но, по-моему, этот гринбот это обычный робот, просто другого цвета, поэтому я имею в виду, это один из тех роботов, за которых и так можно играть, поэтому нет смысла его добавлять еще одного. Ты просто можешь взять, по-моему, это, сейчас посмотрю, как он называется. Первый раз просто за сегодня запускаю игру, поэтому это немножко дольше происходит. По-моему, гринбот это просто вот этот страж зеленого цвета, то есть его уже можно сделать и так, поэтому нет смысла еще отдельно добавлять второго такого же. Окей, can he ride the player? I didn't get it. If you mean like Dino could ride the player, I guess it would be silly. Okay. Hi Fox Force, how about Dino use tail to attack instead use engine? Can you tell us what it can do if you want regarding the Dino mech? Armor sitting to body the Dino mech. Okay, so the Dino mech currently the idea I'm not exactly sure what it would be able to do and what it won't be able to do. There is this guy on YouTube whose name is who has the channel Jean Animate. I believe his name is Jean Guyen, if I pronounce it correctly, and he he is an animator, and he has this very cool videos of dinos fighting each other with swords and axes and things like that, with melee weapons. And he actually announced he makes a game of based on these videos, and this is that's very cool stuff. He posted some development videos as well. So yeah, please check him out, and I'm still in his idea of having that dino with the sword in his mouth. Yeah, well, basically still in his bed, but this is just an idea of having the dino that have the sword. I'm not copying something, just that single idea, and I guess it's all right. It won't like won't steal anyone's attention from what he is doing. So yeah, I won't be showing his videos today because yesterday actually when I was streaming and I showed his video, and there was a short piece of music of Linkin Park in the end, and today YouTube sent me a warning that I am violating someone's rights because I'm showing this segment of music in my video, which is ridiculous to be honest, because I only showed someone else's music from YouTube. Okay, so I won't be showing today, but you can Google it if you wonder. Again, his channel is Jean Animate. I believe you can Google it, or by the name of the game he is working on. It is called Dino Blade. Yes, so that's the idea. That's Dino with a sword in his mouth, and he will be able to perform melee attacks with a sword. He will have like a separate set of melee weapons, not the similar weapons as the humanoid mechs have. And aside from that, I'm not sure what he will be able and won't be able to do, so we're gonna decide it during, I guess, during the work. Previously I thought he won't have the primary weapon because it was just not obvious how to put everything on a spine without looking weird. But I guess I like the current setup, so he will probably have the weapon, or if it's like not will be not pleasant to play, we can remove the weapon on the later stages, like to make him special. Regarding the tail attacks, it is possible, but well, again, all the abilities are somehow connected to the equipment installed on the mech, and the tail is just a tail. Nothing is being installed on the tail, so having him attack with the tail just doesn't fit the idea of every ability. Every ability must have something installed. So yeah, that's just a general thought process, but it might change in the future. Nothing is like, nothing is final. It all can be discussed and changed in the future. Okay, so the plan for today is to rig and animate the character. Right now he is made of pieces, and for the sake of animating him I have to transfer the model from Blender to Maya, which I use to animate characters. And before that I will merge him to a single, join all the parts to a single model. Okay, let's start it. So I duplicate the parts in order to not screw up with anything and just hide the duplicated parts, original parts, should I say. So now it's a single model. Origin 3D cursor, what else? Okay, I apply transformation, all transforms. And auto mirror, just to make sure it is all symmetrical and there are no like holes in a model on the center line. Okay, I guess it is fine, and if we will notice anything, I would be able to later change the model. Okay, let's name it dino mech mesh. All the names are like temporary. Why is it mesh 001? Oh, data. Yes. Okay, now it can be called dino mesh. This is not the name of the mech in the game, just a technical internal name for the model, because both Blender and Maya use the basically everything in a scene should have a unique name, because even especially in Maya, even if you name like model and material with the similar name with the same name, it will rename something, because it can't be two things named similarly. So I have to have some unique names for everything in order to be able to like find something in the scene, because you can imagine when you have this one model and it has like very many parts, and there are like many other models in the same scene and items, and if I'll just give them all random names, it will be a mess, and very soon I won't be able to find anything and will be confusing all the time. Yeah, so that's the current Dyna model. Why is it like it has this relationship line? Okay, I'll just ignore it. So let's import it into Maya. No. Okay, that sounds strange. Looks right here. Oh, I screwed up a little bit. This model actually uses like 82 materials, and it only should have one. I have to remove all the materials. And sign is the items palette. Now I can copy it and name dino mech material. Okay, that's better. And clean up. I'm sorry, clean up. Purge. Yes. see the discussion in the chat, how to call this new mech. There are versions of Skullzaurus or Rampage Rex or Banksam. Not no Banksam. It's someone's nickname. I'll name it Alpha Rex. Hello, folks. Hello, hello, my friend. Какого он уровня будет, пока не знаю. Ну, я думаю, что где-то в середине, типа 6 или что-то такое. Okay, now it has the single material, but it is, yep, looking correctly. You can see straight out of the box, the Blender has that's Maya, and Blender has the way nicer viewport render. Yeah, it is more like pleasant to look at, but still prefer Maya when I need to animate something. Okay, I not didn't like I didn't plan to make tutorials or something, but just to explain what I am doing so it wouldn't be very boring. If you're not familiar with what animation rigging is, basically it is a process where you create the special type of objects to control the model. The model consists, well, it is made of these vertices and triangles, and in order to animate all of these things, you have to have like a special skeleton, and each bone of this skeleton will control the number of these vertices and triangles. And yeah, that's the animation rigging, what is all about. Oh my god, I'm late. Hello, you didn't miss anything important, to be honest. Just me speaking all the time. Didn't do anything just yet. Okay, right now I'm creating all these tiny little things. Those are joints. That's my way of calling those things. In other programs like Blender, they're called bones. same thing basically. I do prefer the joints, to be honest, because that describe them a little bit better. Because when you think of bone, it is like a physical object that has the start and end and the length and the things like that. And in Maya, joint is basically just a point in the space with transformation. It doesn't have any length, and when you want like it to have a length, you just create another joint and make it a child of the first one, and after that you have like your bone. But both of these things are joints. It's easier for me to think of them as the points is in space than other than the physical objects. Okay, I just thought for the tail I should probably get back to the model and make it straight. Okay, you know what, screw that. I can come back to it at other time. I should also name everything correctly. Let me create the joints first. Okay. So should it have like a scapulus clavicles, should I call them? Or is it like static joint right there? I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, let's name everything I have already created. Hips. just mech 1, mech 2, mech 3, head, that's jaw, R for right side of the body. It has three toes, but for the sake of optimization we can make less joints. We can make like a joint for the index toe, or use it the big toe, the joint for the pinky toe, and make the middle toe follow pinky and big toe with equal what is the word of that for that? Well, they will both affect the middle toe equally. This is rump. No, this actual rump R. That's R. R. Foot R. Those would be this is pinky toe R. This is, I don't know, is it big toe or the index toe? Let's call it big toe. Oh, I didn't spell it correctly, and this is a pinky toe. Okay, this is the scapula R, shoulder R, elbow R, hand R, and I guess his fingers not that important. We can just make one chain of joints to control all three fingers, because you may not have noticed that, but humanoid mechs work just the same way. They they like can't straighten one finger. They will always bend all the fingers at the same time, because they just don't have separate joints for each finger. And this guy won't hold anything like complicated in the hand, so he doesn't need many fingers. That's a middle finger. No, you know, it's just fingers are okay. Regarding the tail, what should I, you know, that's nothing crazy, just it's okay. I usually try to model things like tails to be as straight as possible, because when you animate them and it's usually easier to bend something during the animation, like, than it is to make something that has been modeled with a curvature and trying to make it straight in animation, if it makes sense. But that model have like a loose parts. Every piece of the tail is a separate little model, so it's not a big deal. When the tail is like something, um, the whole model, and it is bent and it is modeled bent, then it is really hard to make it straight during the animation if you need to. But in this case, it's not a big deal. Okay, let me see if I named everything correctly. So, aside from these things, we will also need a joint for this extension arm, this weapon attachment thing. Yeah, what I also love about Blender is it has this thing called 3D cursor, which allows you to basically uh, like, I selected the faces or just an edge, and I say cursor to select it, and this little red circle appear. This is a 3D cursor, and it is being put in the middle of the edge, and if I want to create something later, it will be created at the position of this 3D cursor, and it makes like aligning things very easy to do. I missed this thing in Maya, like I would want to create the joint specifically in the middle of this circular thing, and I have to just eyeball it. There are precision tools in Maya, of course, but I don't find them to be as comfortable to work with as in Blender. Okay, so this extension arm, I'm sure if I should like make it bend in the middle. I don't know. I think we can just get away with a single joint. That's okay. Should I call it extension arm? Okay, what else? A joint for the sword that he will be holding, but it will be added later. Okay, we can just mirror all the joints from the right side to the left side. Did I forgot something? I guess not. Okay, that's it for the skeleton. Now, you could, of course, animate the skeleton the way it is, but you can imagine it is not very easy thing to do. Like in order to animate a leg, you have to bend it there, then there, then there. And if you like move his hips a little bit lower, you have to do it again. Instead, in Maya, we create the special like control rig on top of this skeleton to be able to animate the character easier. So yeah, most of these things I do, uh, I rig using my scripted tools that has been created during the years of work as an animator. So they just like simplify the process. Some things I do manually. Those are controls for the clavicles. Okay, what should I have the tail? That's the tail. These are controls for the right leg. Same thing for the left leg. Let me check what's happening in the chat real quick. Why remove spikes? I removed the spikes because there were no place to attach things like right weapon, equipment, engines, things like that. So yeah, he removed the tail spikes. The tail spikes are actually in place. I removed only the two big spikes over here on top of the body itself. Will you put idle animations? Probably. Can you add jumping of the dino as an attack for enemy? We will have to think about it together. What if you try copying movement like in the movies, running animation like that step by step? Okay, I don't know about that. I don't feel like it have to be like very realistic or something. And by the way, even in movies, all the dinos that have been animated were actually animated by hand, because you can imagine there is no person on Earth ever saw a running dino, because they all died like 65 millions years ago. So we can only assume how they move based on their skeletons, fossil skeletons, and base it on our knowledge in anatomy and body mechanics and things like that. So there is no purpose in copying like movement of the dino from the movie, because they guessed that how it should look, just as I would guess. Obviously, when we talk like Hollywood movies, like Jurassic Park or something, there are like the very talented people who work on such movies. So yeah, I totally don't expect to animate something as good as in those movies, but still, I have a limited amount of time. So you know what? I just realized that I forgot to do something, and that's to freeze the rotation of joints. That's an important step, actually. Yeah, but I got lucky. Not with the tail, though. The tail will have to be removed. The tail and the tail attribute on this control. Now I can freeze the rotation and will repeat the steps of adding controls for the tail. What does it don't like? Okay. The tail is back there. Controls for the arm. Just a little bit bigger. And left arm. Okay, the fingers. Toes. Okay, that should be it for now. No, I need an extra control for that extension arm. And the way it will work is, okay, let me think, like that, I guess. So it will work as a stabilized arm, like you will see it in the moment. Like even if I tilt the chest, the arm will stay horizontal. just because I guess that's how the weapon holder should act, because otherwise you will shoot some random directions while running, for example. Okay, what else should I add as a control? Scapular controls should be parented to the chest. This extension control goes to the control. Oh, of course, the neck controls and the head controls and the jaw controls. How blind am I? So for this character I won't go into anything complicated. Those are the neck controls. Release date is tomorrow or in Tuesday, guys. I ain't sure. People in Armored Squad, I guess, hates Fox Force. Well, people hate different things and each other, and I just have to live with that, I guess. Okay, so folks, there are some issues I found in Armored Squad new update. Yeah, I heard that there are problems with saving and loading data from and to Google Play Games account. I heard that if there is anything else, let me know, but that Google Play Games thing is something I'm aware of. Hey Fox, I like the new scout skins, but it take away a few defenses, but it's so fast and cool with skins. I don't hate you, Fox, for games. I don't know why would anyone hate me or someone. It's just if you hate someone, random person in the internet, just walk away, and there is no reason to stay and tell anyone about your hatred. Okay, so jaw controls, and I need a mirror jaw controls. For those of you guys who say in the chat they don't understand what's happening, I imagine that the rigging isn't the most interesting part of the stream, but it's just a technical thing that have to be done before animation happens, so there is no way around it. I could just don't stream it, but I found that since since I am sitting and working on the game, why not to stream it, you know. Jaw controls, parent. That is some weird behavior. I screwed up somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna fix it later. Joints. Okay, now that we have that control rig and the joints created, we need to tell the program which joint control which vertex of the mesh. So that process is being called skinning. What's happening? Vertex. Okay. First of all, I need to select all the joints that I want to be affecting the mesh. Then assign it. Okay, automatic skinning is always awful, you know, so you can clearly see that when I move the arm, a lot of vertices from the outside of, well, from all the mesh is moving as well, and they shouldn't, and that's what the skinning is all about. This model is very simple, so it would be a short process. Often it takes like several hours of work to skin the model, but in this case I guess it's just minutes. Okay, so let's do it. Left view. It's spine. Chest. The hardest part would be this cable right there, because all the parts are actually only controlled by a single joint, like this neck part, but the cable will be affected by several joints, and it will be a little bit, well, that's the most complicated part of the model for during the skinning process. Other than that, it's just all very simple. Okay. What's happening in the chat, folks? Is there again this talk about hatred? Okay, Fox. The issues I saw in Armored Squad new update is that when you use scope while the match ended, when I respawn, my abilities are completely gone. That's interesting. I will definitely check it after I am done with the animation. Thank you for reporting it. Hey Fox, is there a new skin for Tough Guy, Fox? No, not yet. Crazy KO, stop just arguing with someone who said something about me. I don't care, honestly. Where do it be? Where do it be? It will be added just like as soon as I finish it. Когда будет скин на здоровяка? Когда будет время его сделать? Пока не планировал этого. Okay, let me continue to work on the skinning. This is the neck 3 and all of the parts right there are actually should be skinned to the head joint. Those parts, including all the teeth, Okay, all the teeth, but only from the right side of the mesh. They should be skinned. Let me check if I, yes. This is the right jaw. Should this part right there be affected by the scapular joint? I'm not sure. I think no. It shouldn't be. Okay, this one is scapula. Guys, for those of you who are actually for those of you for whom the English is the native language, I would be very grateful if you would correct me when I say or pronounce something wrong, because you know I am willing to learn and fix my mistakes if possible. So thank you in advance. Okay, this one is not only this. Oh, all of them actually should be controlled by the shoulder. This one is also, this one is an elbow. Why the hell are there Russians here? Dude, because I am Russian myself, and you know, Russian people are playing the game, so they are following the stream as well. I don't find anything weird or strange about that. А Bobus Games, я работать на огороде, всем пока. Пока-пока, удачи. Нет, не уставай. Can you make Armored Squad compatible with Xbox controllers? Only LB is working. Left button. I don't know what the LB is. Yeah, I have a couple of controllers, so I will check. Actually, I only added controller support like 7 years ago and didn't check everything since then, and many things changed, so I will have to look into it. Well, basically there are most of the players are playing on mobile devices, and you can imagine most of them don't use controllers, so yeah, that's not a very common request to make it playable with a controller. It is like hand R. Those fingers are actually all controlled by the finger 1 and finger 2. Now the leg. You know what? I'm overcomplicating the things for myself when I'm not hiding. like the things I'm not working with right now, and I really should. It would be like much easier to work with, right? When I work with leg and I only see the leg. So it's a rump. It's now get back, Jojo. Rump hip. It's the knee. Bro, what you guys doing? If it's like addressed to me, I'm rigging the mech model, dino mech, to animate it a little bit later. Well, I am going to animate it right after I will rig it. Okay, so no, that's not a foot, that's a knee. That's a knee, and that's a foot. That's a pinky toe. One. That's a pinky toe. Second. That's a big toe. One. That's a big toe. Second. And this one is an interesting part where you can see this one controls the pinky toe, this one controls the big toe, and this one will be controlled by two fingers, two toes on the sides at the same time, so something like that. Okay, so the leg is probably done. I can unhide everything else. The head is glitchy. Why is that? Oh, that makes sense. It only being controlled. It only controls the one axis. Oh, okay, it's better now. Better. Okay, so easy part is this thing, which is all being controlled by the single joint extension arms. Sorry. Again, it only controls the single axis, which isn't the right thing. Whoops. Accidentally removed the joint. So that is the part I was speaking of some time ago. You see, like, when I rotate the body but the arm stays horizontal because it will hold the weapon, and I believe that is how it should work. There is some loose part over there. Where is it from? Oh, okay, it's an extension arm as well. Okay, what's left? The tail is not a hard thing to do. You should just hide everything but the tail. And I will assign the whole parts of the tail to a single joint that is it closest to its part, that part. That's the neat part of working on animation of the mechs, because they have a lot of like disconnected parts that can move individually. You can imagine when working with like humanoid characters or any like anything made of meat, it won't have like separate segments, and instead they all will be connected, and the connection will have to be controlled by several bones and at the same time, just like in the okay, that's the tail. Just like we would have with this cable, it doesn't have separated segments. So let me show you how it is done. So basically the base, the beginning of the cable is attached to the, I guess it is attached to the chest. So it's the chest, then this part is being controlled. Now this entire part is being controlled by the first neck joint. That's the second neck joint. That's the third neck joint, and the very end of the cable is being controlled by the head. Okay, we will unhide everything just to see how it all works. You will see it stretches very incorrectly at the moment. The same thing will happen if I rotate the neck joint and this part of the neck and this part of the neck. So we will have to smooth out this, like well, I can't find the words to tell you what I am doing. I'm just smoothing the skinning weights right now. Now what? I can do better than that. Just with weight painting tool. The only thing I will need to do is to select all vertices, but the ones in an end, in ends of the cable. Like that. Now I can just smooth everything out. works now. I think it's acceptable. Just in these areas we will make it a little bit more rigid. No. Doesn't look very good. Okay, let's leave it there. Okay, that those vertices can be smoothed out a little bit. Okay, I think it's okay. Now the only thing I have to add is the control for the root joint. Should be this one. What else? Well, I guess we can just mirror the weights for the skinning to the other side, and something broke. That's a strange thing to happen. Very, very strange. Okay, let's copy this thing, name it alt. This one is a new one. Okay. Yeah, I guess it should be working right now. Just checking if I didn't forgot something. Oh yeah, I did actually. There is a very, very strange behavior of this leg. Okay. First of all, need those controls to be horizontal, as well as this one. And now this part is actually a hip, not the knee, as well as the other side. Okay, that's better. Fingers, toes, I mean, the tail, extension, scapula. You know what? This thing, this like shoulder armor thing, I guess it may follow the scapula. It will look better. Right? What's happening right there? I'm sure. Oh my god. Yeah, that is a strange thing happens there. Oh, okay. I got it. Seems fine on this side though. Okay, I will address that issue issue a little bit later, but not to get you bored, let's continue with animating this character. Okay, we will first of all need some kind of sword to put in his mouth, because that's just part of his like personality. I guess. Excuse me. Fox, can you moderate the chat? What's happening? Fox, notice us, please, Ben. What's happening? Okay. Enslaved phone gun. Ban Gentia girl, Fox, please, we beg you. Who's the Gentia girl? Do you mean like the hentai? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry if you heard the weird noises. That's my dog. Yes, my wife is going shopping, and she left the dog in my room, and she just cries because she wants to go shopping too. She will calm down in a minute. Yeah, okay, let me continue to work. Okay. What? Where did I stop? Like I was checking. Oh, I found that the strange shoulder behavior right there. Okay, I will ignore it just to not overstretch the stream. I understand why it is happening, just will have to move some steps back and redo the arm rigging, but that could be done later. Also, Fox, what are names in Armor Squad? What whose names? What does it have to do with Armored Squad? The bot names in Armored Squad, they sus. Uh, you know, I like uh, I'm an adult man, right? And I found I thought of the composed names of the bots like as well, how should I put it? Well, that's a joke, and I didn't think that there are children playing the game and they can like find it inappropriate or insulting, and yeah, it should. I didn't think it was a big deal, and just an adult joke. I guess I should remove it probably. Some of the names that make it look like suspicious. Will you add mecha sharks? I saw your request on the comment section on previous streams. That's like fun addition to the game, but it doesn't add a lot of new, and the time spent on this little detail can be spent but better, I think, on something that would add something to the gameplay actually. But yeah, that sharks, mecha sharks in the water is a fun thing. That is a good idea. I can probably add it at some point, but not right now. Okay, this rig should be working fine. What I should do now is like reference the rig from the file. Excuse me for my dog noises. She just worry about my wife getting out. Okay, this would be just a placeholder animation for the idle, right? Oh yeah, I completely forgot to give him a sword, which I absolutely need to do. just a placeholder sword again, not the finished model or something, because we will have the special sword for the dino modeled a little bit later. I have like a couple of ideas for the melee weapons. I guess those are not actually swords, but probably like more like chainsaws or things like that. Well, something different from what we already have. Just a fun thing to do, I guess. You know, the dinosaur mech with a chainsaw in his mouth, and like it is making noises and shaking, and there is a smoke coming out of his mouth. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to put it on together, but I hope so. It all looks fun when I imagine it. Okay, let's export the sword placeholder. Yeah, and we will need a special slot and special control for the sort and this the source control. Fox, I think it has laser eyes. Yeah, it looks like that. Well, we can like think of if it would be possible to add some special abilities to this later. Excuse me, I just let my dog out because she got too loud. Okay, I'm just will like delay this user. Guys, would you please stop like arguing and insulting each other in a chat? It's just distracting because I would rather try to be more productive than moderate the chat all the time. Okay, dokie. So we will import the sort placeholder. I don't know why is it so white. Okay, that's better. And what I need to do is to just constrain it to the sort joint. I guess not like that. Okay, just freeze transformation, group it, and okay. And it should probably be able to hold it in the head, in hand, and that's it. Whoops. That's not expected. I'm sorry, my dog just won't be quiet. She just worried too much. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so the first animation we will actually make will be the running animation, I guess. Idle isn't something interesting. Okay, like run forward. Oh, I forgot to put the sword into its own layer, so mesh sword, so I will be able to lock it and hide it when I need to. Right, run forward. So the sword is in his mouth. Looking at it, I just assume this thing should be pretty fast because of his legs, and he looks like athletic. I guess. This thing looks to the right, a little bit to the side. What about his arms? I guess a bit more centered. Okay. Yeah, this shoulder will be a little bit buggy. Don't pay attention to it, it will be fixed later. Maybe he should like put his neck a little bit down. What do you think? Should he like, should the head be a little bit tilted to the side of the sword? Because not so much, I guess. It is heavy, but it will look strange if he will be running this way all the time, but that's better, I guess. No, I don't like the pose. Yep, that's better. The tail, body, chest. Hey Fox, did I add the fish inflicting water effect when thrown? I tested and it still doesn't work. No, I didn't yet. You know, when you request something, I don't just like stop doing everything I did and start working on your requests. So I wrote it down when I will have time. When I have time, I will add it. But if I'll be like continuously throwing away my current work and just working on requests, I won't get anywhere. So you have to forgive me for that. Maybe tomorrow, my friend, probably at afternoon, since I'll go home at 4:30 or something. Okay. Okay, that's pose number one. Pose number two is actually the mirrored pose. It's like the same pose, but the other leg is being lifted. Doesn't have to be that similar. So it is tilted to that side, tilted to that side. Wet fish eyes is very terrifying, so red and scary. Okay. think I just lost the pose. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I just completely forgot one thing. I have this set of controls, but there is also this set of controls that are being visible only when I switch the arms and legs to the IK, so I didn't add them to the control set. This is my mistake. Okay, should do the trick. We'll have to repeat the third pose, which is this one. What in the world is happening? Okay, that's better. Okay, this pose isn't the correct one. Hey Fox Force Games, what month do you think it will be updated? That's a good question because everyone keep asking for the exact day of the update to be released, and I sincerely don't know the exact day, but the month is a better question. uh, right away. I guess the September. I showed my secret technique from shipping to Ray channel. Sniping to Ray channel, I guess. Okay, so just have to add some in between frames to fix this incorrect blending. Not exactly incorrect, but not what I would want it to look like. Right, should be extended all the way. Looks like a chicken running and That is to be expected, according to the scientists. Chickens are actually the dinosaurs of our times. They have many things that are in common with dinosaurs, especially the lower parts of their bodies, starting from hips and below. So yeah, the best way to assume how would dinosaur movement would look like in real life is to actually look at birds. Fox, what do you think is the most powerful weapon in the game? You tell me. I guess you guys know better than I. Hmm. I know my personal favorite, but it's not the best in the game. For sure, my favorites are the plasma gun number 2, I guess, and no, number 3 actually, the one with two barrels, and the shotguns. I like the shotguns very much because they not only they inflict damage but also push away enemies, and that's like I love pushing the enemies to the lava when I'm playing. Yeah, and I'm not a great player by any means. I in high level rooms I rarely able to alive more than just few seconds, so you know that's how everything works. Like developing games and being good at games uh, isn't the same thing. That's all right. I guess Michael Schumacher is Michael Schumacher is a good racer, but of course the mechanics of his team are better in their own job, and that doesn't mean they have to like be a good racers to know their job. I guess those are all those things to say. It's definitely stabber, having over 60,000 damage. I don't know where do you get these damage numbers from. I don't remember personally. Stabber, how it is being called. It's dagger or something internally. Projectile. Okay, yes, it's. Let me recap real quick. That's net robo arm dagger bullet. That's how you call it. Okay. Uh, how many damage does it inflict? Oh, there is a secret I won't show you actually, because I would want to hide it from anyone who's hacks the game. Let me check it real quick. Mm-hmm. It's actually the 30,000. That's the backstabber damage. Fox will update now. Will update now, like right now. No, I won't. But as soon as I'll be ready to. As soon as possible. I tried Red Dead Redemption before it was fire. Yeah, I enjoy playing both games. I played the Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PC, and recently I bought Red Dead Redemption 1 for my Switch. It's an old game, but it still rocks, to be honest. And it's one of the best games for the Nintendo Switch, so I enjoy it very much. It has a very good storytelling, and the you know this Wild West vibe. I really like it. It's great games both. Hey, Armored Squad Dev, can you add a co-op mode and there are up to 4 players and there are speed boosters and damage boosters? I don't know about boosters, but yeah, I, I am working on the co-op mode. Still no ETA, but it will be available somewhere, I don't know, this autumn, September, October, I don't know. As soon as possible, we'll release that. That would have, you can see the monsters for that new co-op mode in the other development streams that I did. Those are about Boomer Monster and that the other monsters that has no name actually, but the other viewers has called him an imp. Fox, will you fix the bug where the game gets stuck and doesn't end? Yeah, we'll try to. Yes, I was playing the other day and saw it happening. We'll have to like understand the reason for that. It's again somehow related to the master client lagging, but well, the code that changes the levels didn't change for like several years, so I ain't sure what it began happening recently. Okay, just add some movement. I don't like this pole section. It should put the lag faster. It's so helpful if stabber damage increased. I believe stabber is okay as it is. Why would you want to increase the damage if it one shots? Okay, like you can't see a lot of work is happening on the second monitor where I like editing the animation curves and things like that. It might seem like I am not doing anything, but I actually do. Okay, when it puts his leg down, it should be this kind of impact in the hip. Like that. Probably a little bit too harsh. Also, let me check. There is no like this kind of forward backwards movement. And there should be. Oops. I don't know what I just did. Okay, that's forward backwards movement, but it's a little bit over exaggerated. That's better. These clericals are rigged wrong. I won't animate those right now. Also, we have a problem right there where his knee collides with its shoulder. We should either put the knee a little bit to the side or we can put the elbow inwards a little bit. Imagine you write this thing. Would imagine it won't be very comfortable to do so. Okay, there is something strange happening. Okay, I'll manage that later. Like when I edit the curve in the curve editor, usually it would update in real time, but at the time that is not the case. I don't want to spend the time trying to figure out what's happening, so I'll just keep working. This shoulder, it drives me crazy. Let me fix it. It's in the rig file. Okay, we will have to actually remove the, I guess, both hands controls, helpers and controls. Why did, oh my god, why did it go this way? Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. What do we do about that? No, we can just, yeah, I can just redo this, both the skeleton and the controls. I usually don't make such mistakes. It's because I'm streaming and like not very focused on my work, but instead I'm thinking of what to say and what, like, I'm reading the chat, things like that. Not well, not uh, not very common to these things, you know. Why is it? That's the old. That's the new. New is hidden and the old. Okay. sure this thing is so slow. It needs to counter humanoid mechs. I'm not sure about that. Arm L, orient world, don't twist. That's the check mark that caused all the trouble with previous shoulder. This arm R, the same thing. Okay, and I have to restore the finger controls to simple fingers R, R, L. Okay, all is left to do is add all the attributes to the check character set again. So CS player dino. Oh, and I should transfer the skinning to the new mesh. Let me check if everything works. No, of course it doesn't, because I didn't mirror the skinning. It does now, and the clavicles should be working too, and the shoulder as well. Yeah, I don't like this control to be oriented this way. That's better. Okay, let me check if the animation isn't broken. Oh my god, it is broken. No. It fixed itself. Okay, the shoulder is fine now. Should add the tail movement a little bit. Just do. No. Like a little bit of the tail movement won't hurt anyone. Yeah, should also linearize the tangents for the feet. Basically, the movement of the feet while the foot is planted should happen on a straight with constant speed, like without accelerating or decelerating. That's usually done in a, not usually, it's always done in the graph editor. And the second one. Okay. Not the best looking run cycle though. What I don't like about that, okay, he should lift his leg there. And at this moment too. Also, I guess the vertical movement can be a little bit more exaggerated, and we can have that like harsh impact at the bottom that is being done by, that's the curve of his vertical movement, and usually harsh impacts can be done this way. I'm simplifying it just for the sake of demonstrating. Animation is good, thank you very much. It is not finished though. Okay, we need to like some secondary movement for the arms. Maybe even fingers, since we have that. Now let's make the hand first. I'm animating them, they both hands at the same time, but I will add a slight offset later. Okay. Select entire arm and just offset its animation by a few frames, like 1 or 2. A little bit rough. Okay, what about the tail? That's like too much. I think it's too much of a movement. I lost the sword. Where is it? Oh my god, I lost the sword. And not only I lost it, I actually, I think I No, I didn't remove it. Where is it? Oh, so it's in the wrong layer. Okay, I accidentally put it into the controls layer where it shouldn't be. Okay, so that's the run forward animation, and you can imagine we will have quite a lot of other animations, and I guess it already takes too much time. Like will need to have also running backwards, running right, running left, running diagonals, uh, falling from the height, jumping up. What else? That's the bare minimum of animation for a armored squad playable character. Also, there is obviously several attack animations. What else? Well, yeah, you can imagine there is a lot to be done. So yeah, that's the run and animation. I want implemented in the engine because there is just so many animations to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it for now. Thank you very much for joining in today. Please don't argue with each other. uh, yeah, so let me very quickly check the chat if there is some questions I can answer. Make the tail more shock, please. The tail same like not moving. It's only one. About animation, I mean up down. Will update come out in a week? I feel so excited for the update. Like the dinosaur update, probably yes. I hope so. If I'll be able to finish it, but I guess I should be able to, but no promises. Hey folks, did you note the mech controlling idea? Yes, I wrote it down for myself. Okay, what else? I don't think dino is gonna be the new meta. I don't think so either. It needs to counter humanoid mechs. I already read this. I'm sure the things are so slow. We'll see. Can you add jetpack or a speed booster for the dino mech? Well, currently, since I managed to came up with the idea how to put the ordinary engines to this character, it will probably have this all the same engines as other characters. The one thing I'd like to change is if it will be able to wear impulse booster, that it would play special animations when it like dodges left or right and to the sides. So I'll see how to implement this. If it's not very hard, I would like it to have the special animation of like rolling sideways and probably jumping when you dodge backwards, things like that. I'm trying so hard to find values. I don't even understand why damage is like 54 is divided by 375. Well, wouldn't I don't really want to like uh, dive into the code of the game, especially since you are breaking the codes to see how it is all done. If you make it for like educational purposes or just to make just for fun, that's that's probably fine. But if you making it to ruin someone else's experience, I'm not the one who is helping you. So yeah, basically there are multipliers uh, in the damages, and not only that, in health as well. Well, because of the balancing purposes, because of the balances. Uh, well, it is easy to like create 100 weapons and randomly assign damage, and but when you start playing with players and they say like all the weapons kill the player too fast, or all the weapons kill the players too slow, and you just add this global multiplier to all damage to counter of that, just to fix the general balance of the game, general feel. uh, yeah, so that's about it. Want to play Armored Squad together? Add me. My name is Zane. Add Zane someone, please. Turn animation, jump animation. Uh, there is actually no turn animations in the game, but we probably should add some if I'd have time. Okay, folks, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining in again, and I'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye.